And so my heart was filled with joy and happiness. And I say that because after my first 2017 disappointment with Rings, I can finally say I am reinvigorated with a cure for wellness. Hi guys, I'm Nikki Black and welcome back to my Final Cut review. Today I'm going to review this film because I really felt it deserved the justice. When I saw the trailer last year, I was wondering, is this movie really worth it? And I say that because it did reminded me a little bit of Shutter Island, the one that DiCaprio participated. But then I say, you know, what the hell? It's been quite some time. I haven't seen a movie that has to do with crazy people, with asylums, hospitals, and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. So the first thing that I would have to say to you guys is this movie is not for kids. It has some strong sexual content in it, so be a good parent and don't take your kids, please. Number two, I would have to say this film is really long, but I mean long. And people confuse that with being boring. And to me, the movie was not boring. I do admit that the movie should have been a little bit more compressed and maybe delete some scenes that were not really necessary in there. And I'm going to start with Dane Dehaan, or Dehaan, I don't know how to pronounce it yet, but I really hated his character. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, I really hated this character, you know, because he was self-centered, he was a cheater, he was filled with greed. And this movie really teaches you a lesson in such a way that, you know, if you want things and you're pursuing them with greed and you're trying to cheat, life will get back to you. I think he did really good, and the movie is more about him being hired by his company to rescue his former boss to sign some legal papers. But as the film goes by, you know, he discovers that this wellness center is not really a wellness center at all, you know, and in the process of him discovering a lot of things that are not right, it just made this movie a little bit long, a little bit tedious, but it wasn't bad. It was just a little bit long in that process, but even there, I did find a lot of things that I really enjoyed. The movie is not eerie. I did not find that at all in this film, but what I did find is that the movie is a little bit disturbing because it does have a little bit of gore. It doesn't have an excess of gore, but it does have exactly what this movie needs. And for some people, it's kind of squeamish for them. Not for me because I'm already used to this. But as the movie goes on, you can see a lot of things that, you know, you're like, whoa. But as the movie goes by and you see all of this violence and all of this gore, you say to yourself, wow, I really don't want to be this guy. There was a scene that you could see in the trailer that had to do with him being in this chair with something holding his head. His arms were strapped, his legs were strapped and everything. And, you know, all of a sudden, you know, he's there in the chair and the next thing he is in the police station. And at that moment right there, the movie did lost me for a second because the movie did not explain how did he escaped, how did, you know, he freed himself, until later on when the other characters tell the police that he attacked them with no reason at all. And then I thought, oh, okay, now I know. I really wish that the director and everyone behind this movie filmed that, but it didn't happen, and I consider it a lost opportunity. But it doesn't make this film a loser. You know, the movie grabbed me again, and I did enjoy it. There was a scene that you could check in the trailer where you see these people dressed in gowns holding candles like this. It did remind me a little bit of these old classic movies that had to do with worshiping Satan. I said to myself, oh man, that's so classic. You know, it looks so cool. The cinematography in this film was really good. I really love the way the camera was moving. I love the close-ups. I did love the color grading in this film because it did have some earth colors, but they were kind of desaturated, but at the same time they were a little bit vibrant. The color grading in this film was really good. I liked it a lot, especially in the scenes where the main character was walking through the hallways. Without giving you any spoilers, there was a moment where the main character was writing a letter, like he was like already succumbed into this drug influenced treatment. Then all of a sudden he has an awakening. And without telling you what happened next, but when I saw that next scene, I said, yeah, Michael Myers is back. There was something going on with these eels. At first, I wasn't sure about it because I thought maybe this is more symbolic. But then as the movie goes on, especially with the final reveal, I said, oh, now I get it. There was something that I did not appreciate in this film, and it had to do with the very last scene of the movie where he's riding his bike and then he has a smile. And you see all of his teeth on the front. And I mention this because at the very beginning of the movie, he has a clean shaved face and everything. As the movie goes on, he starts to, deteriorate. And some of his teeth on the front are missing. But at the last scene, he is smiling and he has all of his teeth on the front. I thought, okay, maybe the cure for wellness made his teeth grow back, or maybe the directors or the people in charge missed this. I do not know. I cannot tell. If you know what this means, please tell me. Help me out because I did not get that. End of all things, I really don't like to grade my film reviews with letters or numbers. I don't do that. But if I had to, for the sake of this review, because the movie does have some things that I don't like, I would say I would give it a C+ or B-. It's something like being in the middle of the fence, but there is more good than bad to it. You will be entertained. But my advice to you is that if you are going to watch this movie, please be aware that you need patience. So sit down, enjoy the ride, try to get something good out of it, and hopefully you will like the movie. I just opened an Instagram account. I post pictures of my everyday life that has to do with horror. So if you're interested, join me. I'm also in Google+. So guys, that's all. If you like my review, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Goodbye.